This is my next monthly update video. So, what's actually has happened? Well, the one was yesterday. I had my electrolysis appointment, which went really well. Because what's been happening is my skin the last few days or so, it's been more sensitive. It's part of my autism. It makes my skin more sensitive. And some days it's more than others. So when I was having my electrolysis appointment, when I had my face numb, I've been using a numbing cream, prescription version. So it's helped. It wasn't really painful, but more just sensitive. Because I was feeling more the sensitivity than pain. So yeah. But she was saying that since my last appointment, I have even less hair, and it's even better than when I first started with the electrolysis. But most of the hair has been on the left side, like over in this area. So what she's been doing is removing the long hairs, the pigmented hairs, and any coarse hairs, and some vellus hairs with the hour appointment that I've scheduled. Because instead of doing 2 hours, I've just been doing 1 hour at a time. So, because it's only in this specific area and down here, and some hairs that pop up here or here, she ends up getting. So that's been doing good. It's just it sucks that I have to let that hair grow in with how it makes me feel sometimes, especially when it's dark pigmented hair, because it's noticeable when you get closer, but when you're far enough away, it's not noticeable until you get close enough. But it's like every time I have my appointments, the hairs are about seems like this long. So it's like what hairs are left, so the treatments are working. What else has been happening? I got new glasses. This pair is the same that I had before. It's the same design of frames, just a new pair of them where it has the sparklies on this side. And I also got, instead of going with my normal like the gunmetal or silver of the metal frames, I end up getting these ones. They're more on the pinkish, like purplish side with these ones. But then because of my eyes being really sensitive to sunlight since I had COVID back in 2021, I decided to finally get a prescription sunglasses. So it's pretty much these ones is what I ended up getting. So yeah. Besides that, any other things that's been happening with my transition specifically is ever since it was like last year, it's like towards the middle of last year, since I can't explain exactly why, but the way my hormone cycle is now, with the hormones and how taking the hormones can react in the body, doing the I can't quite say period, but hormonal cycle symptoms like the bloating and the cramps, breast tenderness and pain, and any other symptoms that can happen. Since then, it's switched from 6 days to 10 days. And usually, when it's doing that, it usually starts a day earlier than normally does. So, because for me, usually start on the 16th, but it's been doing on the 15th, and when it does that, that's 10 days, which it's rough going through. So, as I was saying, it's rough going through because it makes the cramps worse. But there is good that's been coming from it, because of my hormone cycle lasting that long. My breasts end up being swelled up longer, and I've been noticing it has been helping with my breast growth, meaning not necessarily going up in size, but specifically filling in or the spots I've been having those difficulties with, like here and up through here. It's been filling in the most. So pretty much it's the best I can show. This is pretty much what I can actually show what they kind of look like. So yeah, some of the bras that I have, that's more full coverage where it comes up here more. That's in the demi style. Fit better now. Up through here where that tissue was lacking for so long. So that's actually been helping with how I feel with my body. And I feel a lot better, and clothing does fit much better. So yeah, other than that, I'm not having any other physical changes going on with my body, like transition wise, because everything is just pretty much done where it's gonna be, besides like fluctuation that normally happens with anyone, like weight gain, weight loss, stuff like that. But one of the things I just been dealing with is with my mental state lately, especially last couple of days. My fluidity, because I'm a lesbian, which means my sexual orientation is permanently that way, with a fluid sexuality. Even though your fluidity can't change, your sexuality is like permanently set in. So yeah, so what's been going on with that is, because if you don't know what a fluid sexuality is, it's pretty much the quickest I can explain it is, if you think of pansexual, bisexual, and asexual, put all three of them together and fluidly change between each one, where how you're attracted physically and sexually to others, male, female, trans, anything in between, like non-binary. That's the best way I can explain it. So it's been in that more blank state where I'm not feeling any attraction, like kind of like how asexuality is, or I'm just not feeling it, even though I want to feel something. It really sucks sometimes because I'm really trying to get my body back into like a state where I'm comfortable with, because of some other issues I've been dealing with. Um, but I've just been wanting to feel something. But at the same time, I'm feeling on that like asexual side. It's like of the fluidity is the best way I can describe it, where that state where you feel nothing at all at times. Well, I'm in that state where I'm like feeling nothing, even though I want to feel something. But at the same time, because it's being really mixed, because the best way I can describe it is I've been wanting very specific pleasure on the sexual side, but I'm not feeling anything. But I've been wanting, the best way I can describe it is double penetration, meaning down there. Um, but I'm feeling nothing at the same time. So I'm like, I want to feel something, but my body's also wanting this. At the same time, it's giving me those the best way I can describe it for the lack of words is that horny feelings or those signals down there it gives you. But at the same time, I'm not feeling anything towards anyone or anything. So I'm like in that weird, state. So, yeah. And I've been trying to get my body back into the state where it's comfortable, because one issue I've been having is down there hasn't been as I can say the moisture part of it, not as much as there should be. It's not where it was before, and now it's just like it's less for some reason. And I know part of it is I've been trying to get more hydrated to help with that, because I haven't been as hydrated. So that's playing a role in it. And it's pretty much, it's been kind of like this since my dilation schedule was switched to every other day. I've been noticing it's dry, a little bit drier down there, even though there is still some. But I started drinking more water. I've been taking my multivitamin again, because I haven't been doing that for a long time, which has a bunch of stuff in it that does help with the production of fluids down there, the natural fluids. And I've been taking the vitamin D, specifically D3, which I kept forgetting to take it, but I started taking it again, and it's actually starting to help with the moisture down there. Especially because last I was tested, I was low in vitamin D. And especially during this time of the year, like the winter months, because where the sun is at, you end up being lower in vitamin D. Plus, my doctor is saying it doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're on hormone replacement therapy, you will be low in vitamin D. But this was even working out in the sun for a whole summer, and out in the sun getting actual sunlight, I was still low in vitamin D. So, yeah. So, taking that combined with the multivitamin, I'm getting about 6,000 international units, which is actually helping with my mental state and the fluid production down there, the natural moisture. So it's just taken a while to get that back to where it needs to. So, other than that, having a vulva is amazing, except for when it's extremely sensitive to touch, and any kind of touch just sends you through orgasms. Because what's been happening, my body's been really sensitive, how I mentioned, but it's pretty much so sensitive that just taking a shower normally and drying clean, like after the shower, drying my body off, has been triggering orgasms. It's not spontaneous because it's being triggered by the touch from doing these things. So it's just like, it's interesting and amazing how the human body works and why my body's been doing this. So that's what I'm going through and trying to just get my body in that back to a normal state. But it's kind of hard to deal with that at times because having autism, when your body's more sensitive and it's just overwhelming, and end up having, with everything else going on in life, how it creates autistic burnout sometimes, and just have to deal with all this. It's just hard to deal with sometimes. Just even right now, trying to get all these thoughts through to do this video. Yeah. So that's pretty much what my body's been going through, what I've been dealing with my transition, besides all the other crap that's going on in the world. In my personal world and space, this is what's going on. And I still don't regret having the surgeries. I still don't regret transition. I'm so happy I've done my transition, and I'm not going to ever say anything else because it's fixed so many issues from my incontinence I had. It's fixed that, the gender dysphoria, how bad it was, how I'm not having it anymore. And as my breasts continue to fill in, it's continuing to heal with my dysphoria, even get even better, even though it's like gone. So that's something that's like interesting. It's still helping as they fill in. So yeah, just trying to get to by one day at a time with all this, and just hopefully my body just gets back into that state that I like. So where it makes me the most comfortable. And the one thing that keeps coming to mind is what my therapist said. He said that when I was talking to him about my specifically about my fluidity, he was saying that with the fluidity, I might, because I don't like it being on the male side, traction, sex wise. He was saying that I'm probably not fully accepting my fluidity because of that aspect. So I'm like, okay, I need to do more work and focus on being more acceptive of having that attraction to, like, sexually and non-sexually attracted to males. Even though I'm a lesbian, when my fluidity is on that side, it's mostly wanting penetrative sex, both holes. Yeah, to say the least. I can't do all my shopping because so yeah. So other than people, so other than that, just trying to get through this and trying to accept that. Even though I'm having those feelings, I'm trying to accept them more. That I'm feeling nothing, but I'm still wanting that penetration, vaginally, anally at the same time. The way my fluidity is, like penis wise, in me. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to deal with and trying to accept that. And I'm really trying to accept it on the male side, and it's really hard for me. I mean, extremely hard to accept that kind of attraction for me. As a lesbian, it's just really hard having a fluidity when it does that. So yeah, I just would rather have it on the female side, like a trans woman or a cis woman who ended up being born with one, to have it that way. But when it's on the male side, it's just like, yeah. So that's just what I'm trying to get through and trying to process with having autism, trying to process everything. So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. It's a struggle right now. So, so until um, sorry, I'm having some emotions right now talking about this with my fluidity, which I don't talk about it very often. So, yeah, just bringing up a lot of emotions right now. So, um, if any of you can give some advice or just experiences that might be able to help, I would appreciate that in the comments. So, yeah, other than that, nothing else has been going on this last month or so. So, until my next video, please comment, rate, and subscribe if you like my content. Then I'll get a video done when I get a video done. So now I'm just gonna leave you all to go back to your regular scheduled reality and back to trying to deal with my emotions and what I'm going through. So, yeah, until then,